Well, welcome viewers, I'm Dr. JW, youth theologist, and we're doing a chronological study of the Jehovah Witness deceptions over the decades. We're up to episode 14. I think we should get on with it. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel as a form of encouragement. The Memorial Emblems deception. When the Watchtower, the Bible and Tract Society taught millions to reject the symbols of the Lord Jesus Christ. The Watchtower Bible and Tract Society created a memorial service where millions pass the bread and wine, but are taught not to partake, which is in contradiction to what Jesus said. The Lord said, "Take and eat," and Judas was included in that. Whereas typical of a cult, this particular cult, the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, otherwise known as the Jehovah Witnesses, say pass it by. Now, I was asked this year by some Jehovah Witnesses down at the beach to come to the memorial, and I said I can't. And they said, "Why?" I said, "I'll drink the bread and the wine. I'll drink the wine and I'll eat the bread." And they looked at me really strange, and I said, "That's why I can't come." And they left it. They didn't go on to invite me. Because the Watchtower turned Christ's invitation into a restricted ritual, teaching most Jehovah Witnesses to observe the symbols of redemption without personally receiving them as new covenant Christian believers. So what are they then? They're just cult members. Teaching point number one, viewers. Christ invited his disciples to partake of the bread and the wine. At the Last Supper, Judas included, Jesus gave bread and wine to his disciples as signs of his body and blood. This was not a corporate ceremony of exclusion. It was a covenant participation. Jesus said, "Take, eat." Jesus said, "Drink from it, all of you." The bread represented his body. The wine represented his blood. The new covenant was centered on his sacrifice, and true Christianity receives the Lord Jesus Christ through these emblems. But the Watchtower trained most of its Jehovah Witness members to watch Christ's symbols pass by, which is completely occult, demonized. Teaching point number two, viewers. The Watchtower Bible and Tract Society restricted the memorial to 144 class. The Watchtower teaches that only the anointed should partake of the bread and wine, and this means the majority of Jehovah Witnesses attend the memorial as observers. Most do not eat the bread. Most do not drink the wine. Most are taught they are not in the new covenant, and most are spiritually conditioned to stand at a distance. The deception is subtle, but it is catastrophic. It is theological abuse. And the Watchtower turned the Lord's Supper into a visible display of two-class religion. Terrible. Teaching point number three, viewers. True Christianity does not make the Lord's sacrifice a spectator event. The Lord's Supper points believers to direct participation in the Lord Jesus Christ. The Watchtower made millions feel unworthy or unauthorized to receive the symbols. Christ calls believers to himself. The Watchtower points members to classification. The Lord Jesus Christ gives covenant assurance to his believers. The Watchtower produces spiritual distance. The Lord Jesus Christ unites his people to himself, whereas the Watchtower separates them at the very table that's supposed to bring them together. And this is not merely ritual difference. It is a complete, utter, demonized distortion of Christian identity. Now let's have a practical example. A sincere Sincere Jehovah's Witness attends the memorial. The bread comes down the row. They hold it. They pass it. The wine comes next. They hold it. They pass it. They are standing in front of the symbols of the Lord Jesus Christ's body and blood, yet have been trained to reject them. That moment exposes the cult, the Watchtower cult. Reflection question: did the Lord Jesus Christ institute the Lord's Supper so most believers would refuse the bread and the wine? Let me challenge you. Read the Gospel accounts of the Last Supper without Watchtower commentary. Ask one question: did the Lord Jesus Christ command his followers to pass the emblems, not take them, or to partake of them? Here's a proverb and a principle as we come to a close. Better is the humble disciple who receives what Christ gives than the system that teaches the hungry to pass by the bread. Terrible, terrible, horrible cult teaching. You can see how the devil's driven this horrible organization. The memorial emblems deception is one of the Watchtower's clearest departures from true Christianity. Christ gave bread and wine as covenant signs of his sacrifice. The Watchtower turned them into restricted symbols for a spiritual minority, whereas the Lord Jesus Christ opened the table to all, forever, for eternity. But Watchtower built a barrier, and that's what makes it a cult. I'm Dr. J.W. Ayub. Thank you for joining me again for this episode. Like, share, and subscribe to encourage me. Comment most of all. Thanks for coming by, and I'll see you in episode 15. Bye for now.